Welcome to a new podcast where we're breaking through and breaking it down with a new girl. Your host, Dawn Piercy. Welcome to Mariano Big Dog's Corner here on a new podcast. I have with us this evening Hector Sick Dog Ramirez. He is an MMA and a UFC fighter with 17 fights. And so far in his professional career, he's got 10 wins, 6 losses, 1 draw, and he made his professional MMA debut on July 26, 2003, in a 4-man tournament, which he won. Hector, how are you tonight? And welcome to Mariano Big Dog's Corner.
Good. How are you today? Thanks for having me.
Doing good. Now, I know you made your professional debut in July of 2003. And
Yes.
From the research that I have done and what I have gathered, you are currently the pit fighting 205-pound champion. Do you still hold that title?
Yes. Nobody ever took it away from me.
Okay,
So
good.
I think I still hold it. But yeah, I had after I fought in that organization, I moved on and fought in another organization. So
Okay.
I don't know, maybe somebody else won it, but I never knew about it.
Now, you're currently ranked 3rd in King of the Cage from what I've gathered.
Yes.
Okay, nice. Now, can you share with us your journey from your first debut to your last fight and where you are today?
So my first debut was the pit fighting, and it was I hadn't planned a fight. I had a friend of mine who told me I should do it, and I said, nah, I wasn't really interested. You know, it just wasn't really my cup of tea. So he kind of did it, and you can win $1,200. And at the time, my wife was pregnant, and I thought $1,200 that could help
Right.
to get some new tires that I wanted to get in her car. So I entered, and I won. I had like twice in that night, but I won the tournament. And after that, they kept asking me to come back and fight. So that's how I kind of got in it. And finishing my very last fight, which was with Bellator, I took a fight and was a little bit injured going into that fight, but I still continued on to do the fight, and I ended up losing that fight.
Okay.
But after that, I have overcome an injury, a serious injury that I did have, and that's why I haven't actually pressed retired on my button yet, because there's always a possibility.
Right. Absolutely. I was going to ask that if there was anything that you may have coming up that our audience can tune in and follow you to keep up with what you've got going on too.
Yeah, no, not at the moment. I don't have anything on paper yet. I think right now I'm just kind of looking back to trying to get myself in physical shape like I was before. I've taken about a 4-year layoff. I had a pretty big surgery.
Okay.
And trying to get my body back into that mode to see, hopefully, I'm able to, if I'm physically able to, and I will probably do 1 or 2 more. But after that, I'll probably hit that button.
Okay. Now, we had on our show before Shannon Rich, and I seen that you had actually fought Shannon Rich and that you won in the first round by knockout. Can you tell us about that fight?
Yeah, that was an interesting fight. That actually was for my first title defense for pit fighting championships. And I think at the time I only had I was a 3-0 record. And so they put this guy who had like 89 fights, which was Shannon Rich, because he's got 1 million fights.
Yeah.
He's been in the industry for a long time. Many organizations he's fought in. So I was pretty nervous. Because I was fighting this guy with, 10, 20 times the experience I had.
Right.
But it came out to my favor. So I guess sometimes it's good to be nervous. Keeps you edgy.
what has been your all-time favorite fighting style that you've adapted for yourself?
All time favorite fighting style, I would have to say, is the ground and pound. I
Okay.
think I think I kind of enjoy that.
Okay. I grew up in Shorey Goju, so,
Oh, okay.
and then I had a severe injury and just finished my 24th surgery.
Oh,
So
wow.
I feel your
Wow.
pain.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
was your injury due to fighting?
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame it just on fighting. I mean, I have a wrestling background.
Mm-hmm.
I wrestled for a lot of years, so I think it was just the wear and tear,
Yeah.
that eventually, caused my joint to wear out. So,
Okay.
so I had to get a replacement.
Oh wow.
So,
Okay.
yeah, so it was pretty heartbreaking because I still had 3 more fights in my contract with Bellator,
Okay.
and I found out that I had this injury.
Oh
So
well.
it wasn't I didn't stop fighting because I wanted to. It was because I had to at the time.
Right.
But I'm feeling great now. I'm moving around, and
I was gonna say
I'm
I've
kind of
watched
motivated to
I've,
see where.
I've watched quite a few of your fights through the years, and if there's one thing that you could go back and change, would you do it, and what would it be?
I'm gonna turn you to the side. I'm sorry you broke up on that. What?
Oh, that's okay. If there was one thing that you could go back and change, what would it be, and what would you have done differently?
Oh yeah, I definitely have that answer. It's probably gonna be my fight against Forrest Griffin. Um, I regret not fighting him my regular style. I changed my whole game plan for that fight, which at the end of the day backfired for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one that I think back that if I would have just fought my way and not try to go for the big knockout, that fight would have totally been ended up different and in my favor. And then basically my whole life would have changed at that point
Yep.
after that
Well,
fight.
for the future, now, if you get your full recovery and you do go back, now you'll know what to do and what not to do.
Absolutely,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
So, for our audience and anybody that, because there are so many MMA fans and UFC fans out there, for those that are getting into fighting, do you have any sound advice that you'd like to give them?
um, just stay humble, stay true to yourself, and just know that fighting is a small window in your life. It's not everything. I've seen guys go into fighting, quit their job, leave everything they have behind it, and which I understand. It's all or nothing, all in.
Right.
But sometimes you might find yourself, going all in, and then you know you don't get what you're looking for, and you go back to you know nobody really cares about you because you're not winning.
Right.
In this sport, you got to have a strong mind and to be able to move forward. But for me, I was around a lot of fighters that ended up not going their way the way they you know pictured it in their mind. It was going to be
Right.
fame, money, and all this. Doesn't turn out that way, and they're struggling till this day. So I
Yeah.
always looked at it like, you know what, I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna take advantage of it. Now I have my own gym, my
Okay.
own business, and this of it here.
Very
But
nice.
I do MMA now, so I look at it as well. So
Yeah, it's a good
I
way to
jump
look at it. You know,
with the experience.
for our audience that wants to keep up with anything that you may have going on, for when and if you do get back into fighting, where could they follow you at to find out?
they can find up on fitness.
On what?
That's where they can find me there, and they have any questions, they can reach out. I'll probably be posting anything that might happen through there.
Okay. It broke up a little bit.
So
Could you repeat that?
it would be that. Oh,
Can you hear me?
can't hear you.
Okay. Could you repeat that? We broke up a little bit on where they could
Can you hear
find
me?
you.
They can find me on I'm on Dog Pound
Okay.
MMA and Fitness,
Okay.
and probably post up anything that if I do decide to take a fight, it will be posted on there.
Okay, great. What I'll do is I'll post the link to that in your bio page, so that way our audience can just go there and click, and I'll help you find it easier. So,
Awesome.
well, I wanted to thank you so much. I know for our guests that were expecting, or our audience that was expecting Mariano, he's actually in the spa right now, and he's been filming nonstop. So, but it has been so great to have you on Mariano Big Dog's Corner as a new guest, and I wanted to say thank you for being a guest.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And this has been a new podcast.